switch up on you before I end this video. And by the way, the video quality of this iPhone is off the charts amazing. I mean, I don't care if you use a DSLR, a GoPro, a DJI. I don't care what DaVinci Resolve.
Yeah. Okay, Tim. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that part. Hi, everybody. It's Life and Vibe. And I wanted to make sure that we had the tour of Tim's recent outdoor Christmas lights around his RV, accompanied with a little bit of music. And I apologize for me being off camera. I had a slip and fall accident and hit my nose pretty significantly yesterday, just falling down some stairs outside. So yeah, that was fun. But anyway, if you do happen to like this type of content, stick around. Supposedly, one of Tim's followers left a comment to say that he had left 37 minutes of nothing on this video. And so let's see what Tim has to say today, shall we? All right, he's up at 1.25 as you saw me change the speed. Take it away, Timmy.
CapCut, whatever it is you're using for software. If it gets any better than this, I don't want anything to do with it. This is awesome video. All I have to do is on here is change whether I want to be 1080, 720, or 4K. I can even shoot slow-mo, which I need to try one day. I need a microphone. This is ridiculous. It's air conditioner. Got one right here. Let me see.
Always the professional YouTuber. Now, as you know, there was a comment, if you were taking note, just wanted to give a heads up. Guess what? That comment has been deleted. The comment that said that Tim had 37 minutes of nothing. It's gone. Mysteriously been deleted from Tim's comment section. So he's left with 37 sanitized comments. And just as Tim's battling with the noise of an air conditioner, I'm battling probably with the noise of the jets you may hear flying over my head. But always the professional, ready to go with his microphone at hand, almost 26 minutes into his video.
Got one right here. I will have to stop the recording because I don't know if it'll actually jump into it. DJI microphone works. Let me turn this on. This is the thing I can't put back in my box because it charges it, then kills it. So I charge it with USB-C.
I hope everyone's not too upset. We're just going to speed along his description of the camera stuff because, you know, it's not that interesting. And it goes on for like almost a minute. And do any of us care? No, not even I.
All right.
Oh, nice lens wipe.
Now we have microphone. Much better, right? I know. Baker, when you put the microphone first thing. Don't give up on me. Let's try this coffee again.
Well, somebody gave up when they said you had 37 minutes of nothing, Tim. And that person deleted the comment. And we'll make sure we play out this video with the remainder of that jingle. So look forward to that, everyone.
That first couple got me going, though. Yeah, that's about pretty close to perfect, folks. So now what? I'm down to 9. I might try 8 to see what happens. Because I know one thing. I'm a mild guy. I'm not a strong guy on the coffee. So going there last night was fun because it was fun being with them. We had a great conversation. We went back to the house, made a pot of coffee, which was the best cup of coffee I ever drank in my life because Rafaela, she don't play. When I told her I bought a percolator and I was going to come over and make something for her, she goes,
So Tim went somewhere, probably did not eat a carnivore diet, even though it keeps claiming to still be a carnivore, and enjoyed some coffee with Fred and Rafaela, of course.
no. She's not changing anything that works. She's like, why should I change? So I had a pot of coffee, talked about more stuff, and then I left. And I was thinking, I told Fred, I was telling Fred this is what I'm going to tell you guys. I'm driving a motorcycle the other day. You drive it or you ride it? Okay, I rode it. And there's a guy in a K car. It wasn't a K car. It was a...
Tim, you're supposed to be the motorcycle expert. You ride a motorbike. drive a motorbike. Not that I've ever known anybody who rides a motorbike ever say. Promise you guys, it gets worse.
Dodge, remember the Dodge Diplomat? But that was a bigger frame car. It was the K car shape, if you remember those back in the 80s, right? And it was in pretty darn good shape. Some guy was driving it, and it wasn't a rattle trap. It didn't look like a junker. It was amazing. And I thought, oh, I sold those. That was mid-80s, right? I thought, you're telling me 85, 95, 2005, 2015, 2020, 41 years ago? That car's 41 years old. That was yesterday. I was selling those cars 41 years ago, not a decade ago, not 5 years ago or 15 years ago, 41 years ago. And that's if it was an 85. They might have made them in earlier than that, but roughly 40 years. Where did 40 years go? I'm telling you, folks.
I know where it didn't go, Tim, to any type of sound investment vehicle, and it certainly didn't go to building any type of wealth when you had some opportunity to do so. It certainly went to you having a good old time. Per your words. Oh, Tim. Yeah, time does fly, Tim. It's incredible. I could actually think about it. I'm suddenly like, oh, yeah, that doesn't seem like. And then when I think about all the things that have transpired in that time of 41 years, I'm suddenly to myself, because it would have been since I was 15. I was suddenly like, there's a lot that's happened since in those 41 years. My goodness. To think I could still be here for another 41. I don't think they'll be quite as exciting, though. I think that's what the part of getting older is, because I can promise you, I already feel really achy from that slip down the stairs yesterday.
I used to say it all the time when I first started talking about Social Security, how 62 to 65, that 5 years is going to change you. And man, thank you. The air conditioner just shut off. Was that an understatement? Got to get a little higher. I feel like I'm leaning down. That was an understatement.
Goodness, I was trying to figure out what that noise was. Okay, keep going, Tim. Here we go. It's off on the retirement thing. Keep going. I promise you, he gets really lively for his My Christmas Lights tour and coffee ratio conversation. I think the coffee ratio, I think we might have skipped over that part.
And my eye vision, the guy, he tells me when I first started going to the eye doctor, you got glaucoma, and I recommend this and that, and these eye drops and this surgery, and that's why I went. I was having an issue, but did I ever imagine it would be like it is today? No. I'm likely, if I live long enough, to be what he said. He said, if you live long enough, you will be blind in that eye, unless you do something. Keep these drops, keep the pressure low, and all that. So I'm seeing that progress. Then,
progress meaning that his vision is declining. That's the progression Tim is referring to. He's not referring to his progression as in it's improving, because as we know, Tim is not somebody to remember to follow his physician's instructions, even though he doesn't have like a lot of reasons why other people might find it difficult to maintain a routine with their medications or something. But I think if it were, because they're working or, things happen. So you may forget one day or something because, you rush out the door to work. Like I have days where I forget to take my vitamin D supplement, which I desperately always need to take. And I just remember to take it along when I'm giving the dogs theirs. And so we just all take them together. So I tend to remember now. But I'm more likely to remember theirs than mine. But it is something that you do have to build a routine for. And Tim is somebody, in my opinion, is not fond of a routine. He definitely wants to be he's very sort of regimented about how he makes his appearance and how he looks. But he's definitely, he wants his body to be as new and is spanking new and not needing to maintain and require maintenance as it would be for a home or a car or anything. Tim likes things spanking new. And I think that's probably reflective as to, in my opinion, why he's potentially had, a few marriages.
The weight is so hard to manage. I know that you're.
Oh, and I forgot to say too, he supposedly had some results for this eye again recently, and he did not want to spend the $45 to get the results. So I don't know if he's had the results or what he found out, because if you don't go and get the results and maintain the relationship, then you're going to lose the person prescribing the eye drops unless they're being prescribed by your primary care. Then you'd want to make sure they're prescribing them, but they may default that to the ophthalmologist unless you say, I'm not really seeing them now, I just need to be on these drops. So maybe since you're older, Tim, maybe they will. But oftentimes you have to have a specialist prescribing these. The primary care does not always feel comfortable prescribing these medications. So I'm curious to know, Tim, what you're going to do in that circumstance, because you do need to take these drops. I know it bothers you to spend the money, but it doesn't bother you to spend the money on a $26,000 motorbike, which you're not going to be able to ride if you can't see out of one eye. Talking about all sorts of stuff. Keep going.
Probably a lot of you are saying, no, it ain't. Just eat meat, meat, butter, and eggs, and stay on carnivore, and you're going to be, all those other issues you're complaining about will go away. Your eyes, your legs, your knees, your hips.
If somebody is trying to claim that the carnivore diet is going to reverse glaucoma, that's really some absolute fraud shenanigans there. That is some... I can't even. I mean, who's buying that garbage message? Who really does believe that you are going to reverse glaucoma because you suddenly started a carnivore diet when you've already have progressing glaucoma? I think that is why these types of messages and these, diets that are very extreme and then claim to solve and every ailment that you have are just BS-ery. And now I'm going to get a bunch of people in my comments say, I've been on the carnivore, this, that, well. No, I don't care. I've read studies about the harm it does for other body parts, like your colon. So Tim doesn't defecate properly. And no, it just doesn't get magically absorbed in your colon, Tim. Have you never watched a carnivore like a lion poop in the Sahara?
Hips, your gizzards. And hey, look, I'm for anything that will improve. I'm not saying it doesn't. And I'm on that program, but I haven't stuck to it. I have been weak like my knees for a little while now. And I feel very, very guilty about it. That I'm not sticking to what I got to do. I'm not happy with my curriculum. A lot of it had to do with buying that stupid camera and sitting here and not even allowing me to ride my bike. It seemed like it's been a lifetime. And I'm talking about a minute ago. This is my...
He's such an impetulant child. He spent one day trying to figure out how to use that camera that supposedly, I guess, to take on the motorbike. I mean, I get it, Tim. I was very peed off this afternoon because I had been able to get out of work a little bit earlier today because I needed to leave early, because that's why I'm not on camera, because I had a significant slip down the stairs last night and almost got punched up my nose. It was wild. Anyway, lo and behold, my TV decided it didn't want to behave. These modern TVs that, connect everything, and because it wasn't connected to the internet, and I'm always checking if it needs to have updates to the system, and it just wasn't doing it. So you literally have to, reboot everything back up. And then it was just a frustrating nightmare. So I get it, Tim. I get it. When you don't get to do what you plan to do, and it takes other time. But you're retired, and that's okay. And maybe try to ensure that instead of you kind of getting down into the rabbit hole on one thing, is that you make sure that after a certain amount of time, you say, okay, obviously that's not worked. I'm not getting any further with this. Let me go and take care of this other thing. So maybe you need to compartmentalize your days better. Now, I'm terrible at time management, so just don't listen to me. My friends will tell you I'm always running late. So, but I'm just saying, I can give great advice. I just, that's true. Anyway,
what is your point? I'll tell you what my point is. 40 years. Went by like that. And it's already December. I didn't even realize on December 1st. It's already going to be Christmas. It's already going to be 26. I've received my last low Social Security check. My next one's going to be huge with a big $40 increase, $20 increase, whatever it is. So another year, I'm going to be 67 years old.
That was a terrible sort of dry bag.
I'll be 70 in 3 years. I've got to live my life. I've got to change my mind about.
Live your life, Tim. That feels like all you've ever done is live your life. You left 3 wives with children in each of these relationships to live your life, sir. You've talked about your sand rails and your motorcycle trips. I already know that we found you on a site asking to share a hotel room in 2010 with somebody so you could go motorcycling across the country. You were, carrying on with another man's spouse, Miss Tammy. It's not even alleged. We have facts on that. In fact, I've shown many a time where it's a known fact that you were both cohabitating at the time. She still remained to be legally the spouse of our R.I.P. Dwayne Musselman.
Experiencing all I can. It's not about, I only got 20 years left. It's about, I might only have a few of really good, active, healthy years. And in my mind, I'm willing to even try and go and do these things because
Tim, I promise you, it gets harder as we get older. That slip down the stairs on those wet steps last night outside just reminds me about, how frail we all are.
Change. I mean, I thought to myself when I was going to talk about this that nobody can tell you when you're young, nobody, how fast life is, how you better do what you can now, how you should save, how you should do this, how you should do anything. You're like, nah, I do my own thing. I got forever. I'll do that tomorrow. You don't have forever. The Bible says that our lives are nothing but a fog, a mist, and then go.
Tim's been speaking about always, and I'm sure this is just what his spouse has also heard their entire lives about, umming and ahhing about purchasing a house. I don't think you're ever going to buy a house, Tim. I think you're always going to and ah yourself out of the decision. I think you have a sense that it would, for you, Tim, for you, it doesn't spell stability. It's something that ties you down. That's what you see it in your mind. The bills, the maintenance, the care, whatever you need to do, it's something that ties you down and stops you getting outside and doing what Tim rather be doing, which is, hanging out with the geezers, listening to music, riding a motorbike. When you have responsibilities at a home, because I know I have lots of responsibilities here. The moment I need to go down and take these dogs out for a walk, I need to put some salt down on my stairs because there's possible inclement snowy weather coming in. And so I just need to be cautious. I don't need to take another slip and fall. But Tim doesn't like that. And if you've been following Tim for any length of time, you know that he doesn't want to be tied down unless it's to Tammy's money.
On. And how true that is. How true it is. My camera keeps slowly dropping down. I'll back up a little bit. It doesn't hold its extension anymore. So anyway, live your life, folks, and live it to the fullest. And we don't have to be afraid or worry about how old we are and everything. It's just, you need to be afraid about letting your body and your health get to the point where you look like a house. Your mind is, you haven't took a part-time job, you haven't done puzzles or whatever it takes to keep your mind active. You give up on DIY, whatever it takes to keep that mind going. Okay.
Yeah, like Tim Evans done DIY or puzzles. Part-time jobs, yes. Though he refers to his YouTube job now as a prison job. So this grind of videos, because it's not easy money like it used to be, now feels like prison. When it came with a nice big old paycheck, it felt like probably the lottery. Isn't it funny how things changed, Tim?
And certain foods and things like that is certainly moving that body at a gym, doing heavy weight, medium weight, hardly any weight, but
Now, as a healthcare provider, I will, and I don't mean to interrupt him, I do want to preface, I would encourage all of these activities, and especially, weight-bearing activities, because especially for women, that's going to help with preventing osteoporosis. So any type of weight-bearing activity is going to help strengthen your bones. Also for men too, because obviously as we get older, we are more prone for risks of falling. And therefore, as I know, good Lord. And so you want to make sure that if you do, you're not going to break something, which I unfortunately didn't break anything. I just looked like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Flexing and operating. I mean, I got a rotator cuff. I don't know what happened.
Oh, no.
I'm talking like an old person. My ailments, my gizzards and all. That's like, I'm done. I'm all done. I'm done with everything that doesn't work. I only want to do what works in my life. This is working right here. That's pretty good coffee.
Oh my God.
That first cup was jet fuel.
That coffee is the reason why you complain you can't sleep at night. You have to see, I'm laughing so hard at just hearing Tim saying he's done. How many times have we heard this too? Probably was telling Fred and Raphael of this, and Fred probably feels like he's heard this 1,000 times.
A lot of you would have loved that. Don't let me, 10 scoops. But a lot of you would have loved that. Me, it's a little strong. So what am I going to do today? It's Saturday. What are you going to do today? What is today's date? 5, 6, 7? I have no idea. Somewhere in there. First week of December of 2025. It's all over. Wrap it.
Miss Tammy must have left town. That's all I can think. I think JJ was accurate. And I was thinking about that too, but I had so much going on that night. I didn't even have a chance. But I thought at the time when she was coming down, I was like, there's going to be a reason as to why she and the family are probably back in town, because I don't think she probably traveled alone. And the sale of the home seems like a good reason to come down, because they would have to sign contracts and maybe there's things that need to be helped. I'm sure the house is probably pretty well vacated, but Tammy's last chance, because maybe she's now permanently going to take herself chance to say bye to Tim. So Tim's probably was all excited because Tammy was back down helping him get that gazebo video film. So that was perfect timing. But I have a feeling she's probably headed out of town with the family. So Tim's going to be all out of sorts now. And you'll hear it in his videos.
Yep. Don't blink. Christmas will be here. Have you done any shopping? If you do some shopping, use my Amazon link. Vivor has got a really good relationship with me. And there was something they wanted to send me. I didn't know if I wanted it or not, because I live in Florida. And that was a diesel heater. So I suppose a lot of, what do you call them? Not off-roaders, but overlanding, rooftop. I don't know if you can put it in your tent. Of course not. I don't know. If you put it in your garage, you live up north, it's freezing. It's a diesel heater. You're not going to put a propane gas.
I don't know if it's here or another video, but I did hear Tim saying that he did put that. Maybe it's this one. That he put the fire pit inside that gazebo tent. He said he could do it, and it wasn't bad. It's just not the brightest star in the galaxy, is he?
Fire pit, which is what I did in the gazebo the other day. And I don't recommend it because it ran me out of there. The roof is not screened.
There's no vent at the top, Tim. It's not made for you. You obviously didn't hear me. Because I said the day you set that gazebo up and you pulled that fire pit in there, I said, I hope he doesn't think about putting the fire pit inside of that gazebo, because that would be not a very smart thing to do. For not only get smoked out, but obviously that thing could catch on fire. Just all of it melt, whatever. It's just not built for you to sit in those things. No, but listen to Einstein over here.
Net. So it hits that roof and it barrels back down, even on the lowest setting. And I had to shut it down. It was not too hot where it would burn the thing, but it was too hot for me to be comfortable. Now, if it was cooler outside, it would have been perfect. So you can do it with the big 12 by 12 with almost an 8-foot ceiling.
No.
So, but you do it at your own risk. So they want to send that, and they got some other things. And
I'm sure there's something on that box that clearly says, do not have near open flame or something. Cannot believe this guy. I did want to go live on this, but I got a bunch of other stuff to do, and I know I'd be here all night laughing.
I don't know. Yesterday, I talked quite a bit about an individual that I met that came by and bought something from me. 62, 63-year-old gentleman.
Oh, God.
And we had the same truck. I mentioned him before. He had a Ford diesel, beautiful, 24 model, King Ranch. I can't get over how quiet these new diesel engines are. You know, most of the diesels that I've...
Are you going to talk about engines for a minute? I'm not surprised it's him talking about somebody in a truck. All right, spin it along, Tim. That's boring.
After the show and the series was over, the boat went in, I don't know, some kind of storage. Somebody else had it and modified it some.
What?
And I don't know how he found it. I kind of forgot, but he got it. And it was the boat because someone saw it and told him, hey, I built that boat.
Why are you talking about somebody else's? Somebody talked about it. Okay, carry on, Tim. I think
wrap it up.
Yes, wrap it up.
It's Saturday. I got a ride. Okay, I got a motorcycle. Did you guys know I got a motorcycle? I forgot. Air conditioner. Could be a high of 79 today. Supposedly.
Glad we're getting a weather report, Tim. And glad the air conditioning came back on. And I'm glad that you're talking about riding the motorcycle that you spent $26,000 on.
Rain tomorrow, so I got a ride today. I'm going to get out there, follow the cars in the traffic. I mean, if I lived in California, if I lived in the Carolinas or Tennessee, well, right now I wouldn't be riding, right? You can't. I mean, there's snow, ice, blizzards. It would be so great, though, in the right time of the year to know that, like when I used to live in Atlanta for over 12 years, it was a day ride to the Dragon. And it was an experience to get there because you're going through the mountains. You're already in North Georgia. It was a different experience. I got to say
he's never riding this bike too much. And listen to what he says.
I don't have this deep motivation that I did when I lived there because when we get out here with all these snowbirds, these geezers, these people that are texting, it's something, it's concerning. But I'll do some night riding or something like that. I'll get over to the beach and cruise up and down a longboat again. Someone said, not someone, I searched on the internet and it said, go down to Casey Key. There's a road that meanders around, a little twisty. It's a cave of.
Anyway, Tim, we're going to wrap it up. Tim talks about the fact that, he's talking about going places because Tammy out of town. He is going to do another ride or two, but then he's selling the motorbike. So he's not even going to keep the motorbike a year. He's so wild. He's just got to spend his money on these toys. He doesn't, I understand. He doesn't want to be stuck in a home and it feel like he's going to go and just kind of wilt away inside of a apartment or a condo and not be living a fulfilling life with, potentially only but so many years. And I understand that. But he's doing, I think he just needs to make that decision. But I think having bought the motorbike maybe wasn't the best plan. I think that may not have been a good plan.
Of trees that come over the road. It's a very slow speed, but seen it. And then going out to Arcadia and Mayaca and all that, which I find not exactly thrilling, but it is open road, but they're just straight. Motorcycles are meant to lean, baby, lean. So what do I need to do? I need to pack it up. Well, look what time of year it is. The country's frozen except us here in Sarasota. The rest of the country is an iceberg. But I need to pack it up coming up soon. I can go down to the Keys. I'm going to do that. Overseas Highway. That'll be beautiful. Go down there, baby. Yeah, I'm going to go down there. I'll go down there. Pack it up and go to Tahoe, California, Big Sur, somewhere. Grand Canyon. Ride that baby. Put some miles on it. She's waiting. So that's going to be my future. That's what I want to do. I hope to encourage you.
Well, and then you said in a video coming up, Tim, and I'm going to end you there, that you also spoke about the fact that people should, you're going to sell the bike. Oh, hold on, Christmas music. Wait a second. You jumped the gun there. Anyway, I am going to finish this one. If you want to drop some type of Christmassy thing to celebrate Tim's wonderful decor in and outside the RV on the Bradenton slab, then please do say in the chat. Make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you leave me a comment, subscribe, hype me if you get a chance. And I'm going to let this wonderful music and just a memory of Miss Tammy's visit and some of the wonderful comments that Tim receives in his chat. All right, guys. See you on the next one. Bye.